My homeschool didn't get better when I started adding things. It's really the opposite. My homeschool got better when I started taking things out or subtracting things. I had this problem, especially in the beginning of my homeschooling journey, where I would continually try to add things in to try to make things more fun or make things the best that they could be. And sometimes I was even modeling the public school model of school, and I didn't even realize it. But as a public school kid and as someone who went through, a whole bachelor's degree of teaching and education and spent some time in the classroom, it's really hard to kind of deprogram yourself from those things. But when I started taking things out of our homeschool and when I started just embracing education for the sake of what it was and how my children were personally learning, things kind of fell in place pretty easily. So what are some of the things that I stopped doing that made our homeschool so much better and simpler and just a better experience for everybody? So there are some things that I stopped doing to just make our homeschool easier and more enjoyable at the same time. So the first thing, I stopped trying to do everything. What I mean by that is I realized I did not have to do every single subject every single day. Now, some parents, they do something called a block schedule where like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they do certain subjects, and Tuesday, Thursday, they do certain subjects, and they rotate that schedule. I've never done a block schedule, but I did learn that I don't have to do everything every day, and I can just kind of make my own schedule. So typically when you buy a curriculum book, they're going to have some kind of schedule to tell you what days you should be doing what. Just remember that that is a guideline and a tool. It's not a necessity. So if you find that you don't want to do math every single day, do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You don't have to do it every single day. And especially with some of the more elective courses that we have, because I have high schoolers, it really made my life a lot easier when I realized I can just rotate these things. I don't have to do them every day. And it took a lot of that pressure out for me because I tend to just pressure myself so much. I am my own worst enemy. You guys know that this is me, but the next thing I stopped doing was trying to chase the perfect curriculum. I am a curriculum hoarder. I love curriculum books. I always have ever since I was a student teacher. I love curriculum books. I just collect them. But I have come to realize over the years that there is no such thing as a perfect curriculum. It just doesn't exist, guys. I could find what I think is the most perfect curriculum, and then the author's going to write something in there that maybe theologically I don't agree with. It happens. Does that mean that that's not the right curriculum for us? No, not unless it is a reoccurring theme within the book and my husband and I are like, okay, we're not going to use this. Maybe we decide we don't like the workbooks of a certain book, which has happened before. Actually, it's happened with my favorite curriculum. There's some workbooks that I just don't like. And so we pick something else, or we use that in a different fashion. I actually did that this year with our history curriculum. I took our Generations History workbook and I kind of turned the questions into narration questions. I did not use it in the traditional sense that most people would. I Charlotte Masoned my curriculum in my workbooks, even though they're not Charlotte Mason books. I did kind of a Charlotte Mason approach to it because I know that that's how my child learns best. I just figured out a way to make it work for us, and I used it as a tool. Okay, that's the key with curriculum. Use it as a tool. Don't let it wield you. You wield it. Comparison. I know everybody talks about it, but just very quickly, a note on this. Don't compare your homeschool to anybody. And I mean myself, I mean anybody on Instagram, anybody in your co-op. Do not compare your kids and your homeschool to anybody else, because what you see right here behind me is curated, okay? This back here, this holds all of my kids' junk. I have to take it down every single day before I turn on this camera because I don't want you guys being distracted by all of this. This is my curated background for my videos because it's nice and clean and white and bright. But if I turn this camera around in my homeschool room, you would see a mess, okay? And it would distract you, and it would just be, it would be bananas. And you would not be able to understand a word I'm saying because you're too busy looking at all the things behind me. Instagram, social media is the same way, okay? Anything that you see on there is a curated image. We do this because this is what we do. Like, we want you to be focused on us, and we want you to see light and bright and beautiful. But just understand that this is not where the majority of my homeschool even happens. Actually, the majority of my homeschool doesn't happen in this homeschool room. It happens out there on the couch. So a lot of the learning doesn't even happen right here, other than things that we do on the computer, which you can't see off camera. So my point is, what the images that you see here on camera are not going to be exactly what my homeschool is, and I don't want you comparing your homeschool to mine, which is another reason why I don't do those homeschool with me videos. I don't want you comparing your kids to my kids because everybody's different. Your kids are different than my kids. So go with the flow with your kids. Overloading the day. This is another one that kind of relates to one of my other points here. Because I wanted to get things done, and I'm very type A, sometimes homeschool works against me because I'm type A. I have like a checklist in my brain of all of the things that we need to do in the day. And so what would happen is on days like today where I'm filming and I'm going to get a late start to my homeschool day, I still have this checklist of things that I want to get done. And I know I don't have time to do them. And I know I'm going to have to take out something, and it's going to bug me. That's just the way that I'm wired. I don't know how to stop it, but I'm probably going to have to put on the back burner one of our subjects that I can rotate to Friday. So it's just, don't overload yourself. Don't do what I do, okay? Like, do as I say, don't do as I do. It's going to be okay. And I have to tell these things to myself all the time. It's going to be okay. You can rotate. You don't have to do your Plutarch book this afternoon, because that's the one that I'm thinking of. You don't have to do Plutarch this afternoon. You can do it on Friday, and it's going to be okay. See, I do this. I do this. And you would think that I would know not to do these things after 10 years of homeschooling. When we start grade 10 for my son in the fall, this will be my 11th year homeschooling, and I still have to tell myself this stuff. I still have to do it because it's one of those things, like, I have to preach it to myself every single day that it's going to be okay. It's one of those things that I think we all do. We all find ourselves kind of slipping in some of these ways, but sometimes we just need a reminder. Homeschooling gets so much better when you simplify things, okay? My favorite memories of homeschooling are sitting on the couch with my young son and just reading books together. That is what, when I stop homeschooling and my kids are grown and out of the house, that will be what I remember. And I hope that that's what my son remembers too, because those were the sweetest moments. Those are the moments that I hold on to the most. It is not all of this crazy, we have these electives and we have this history video we need to watch and we have this math program that we need to get done. It's going to be the simple moments. So simplify your school as much as possible and just enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is, because it will be over before you can blink. I know some of you have so many years ahead of you, but as somebody who's already gone through it, I can tell you it goes by fast. It goes by really, really fast. So enjoy it. And I'm going to try not to sound cliche, but I know I am. Enjoy it while you have it. Enjoy those little moments. Enjoy the books and all the stories, and make yourself a cup of tea and relax if you're like me and you're type A. Simplify as much as you can and take the stress out of homeschooling for yourself, because it is so much more enjoyable when you do. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and happy homeschooling.